to players sometimes, so we'll have to see as they are going to be starting out. And they've spotted Zori again outside and damaged him very low, but he does catch XMS. That's a
down ramp towards the B side. Not necessarily the most orthodox of passes, but will they get punished for it? Makazin still standing a little bit longer, but Lucky joined alongside Kiyashima can lock it down from Decon on Eco. In the purest sense of the word, damage has been done, and it should be without any casualties on the CT side. Especially as everything has fallen into place nicely. Zori, with the burst of all things, can he actually get this kill down onto Kyo? It's going to be a close one, but eventually a much safer pick you'd have to feel. It's a bit of an awkward one for Dotto, and especially considering how well he played Dust, you'd expect him to pick that one up.
That was a very labored in the end, but they have been able to respond. They took Keo down. Now starting to get into the upper site as well. These trades have been on point. Only Navera stands. He's got the AUG. He's able to dispatch of one, but can he do more? Indeed, he can. Even through the flash, he's been able to find a second kill, but unfortunately, it's still Maka all alone.
Very low, and this is where the MP9 could actually shine. The bomb's not. It is the fake, and now he will know it for guarantee.
Vince.
This is really where the AUG is so good, but the
in Heretics head rent-free, as well as really controlling through secret. We can get in behind them, Vince, and this could be still such a big problem for Heretics, though XMS is coming through huge with those two from
up on Dotto. Saw just needs to stay alive. He needs to bide his time, and now Dotto shows his hand. This is where the lack of a kit will become a bit more of a nuisance for the CT. Saw at the back of the site, still alive. That smoke helps him and Dotto out. They've got a crossfire now, starting to take shape, tickling the bomb. Saw through the smoke onto XMS, and now Lucky with the AUG can do little. It's unlikely that HAVU, with losing so many players in that previous round, go chasing too hard here. Kiyashima, though, going to show his hand, missing out, and Saw doubles up. So we won't have all 10 remaining. The Heretics may be good to save 2 players, which
still only on a 3-round loss bonus. So, I mean...
Bastions of Hope safeguarding the site behind the doors, opens up, but slowly from Decon, massacring him, opens up that site, should be post-plant, and maybe Maka can get the drop on Storm. That would be an AK, which wouldn't be too shabby if they can save it, but in terms of their endeavors winning
thus far, though it's still early days here on Nuke, and again, this is a map that Heretics will feel much more comfortable on. Definitely looking pretty comfy so far for HAVU. They have to make that actual push onto the site itself, and Keo has been a real problem. I didn't even mean to make that reference, actually, but it works. Yampi, though, with the response.
Well, I suppose a good kind of problem if you're Heretics. We did say they needed to have more of them. Saw low in ammunition, and Zori helps him out with the AK headshot, perforating Navera. 3 play 2 as Maka takes out Yampi, the young Finn. We're playing a little further part in round 7. Saw spraying into success. Both the T's, though, exceptionally low. Between the two of them have
He is. I thought he was going to get caught through Mini there before he get the bomb into the site, but indeed he did get it off, and so at least they'll get that bomb plant money roll.
Oh, so lucky Zori in the respect of not getting burnt to a crisp, but unfortunate because it made... It's going to be fast, frantic, chaotic. We saw much... Here's the gas tank on. The strat page running out. Maybe running,
and that could be the real big problem for Heretics' defense if Saul's able to find it. It's only getting worse with Zori finding a pick elsewhere. Navarre actually does pick up on Saul, but Zori was able to do some work elsewhere outside. Keo, though, spots the shadow, knows what he's up against, able to
wounded and potentially the Walking Dead. Yampi comes out, spray not on point. Now Dotto has to bounces again. He's had a great start to this map. A little bit absent in places on Mirage, why we touted him as one of the key members. Slowy, good deal work. It does give them something to work with, but they're certainly well and truly behind in terms of the likely...
Down doesn't check that location. XMS just holding, waiting, knowing that he's going to have the jump on him. But no, he steps out, slowly dispatches of him, and he continues to push through for another. Unfortunately, his teammate's fallen, but he can still get this plant.
Oh, they've not been able to really build up and flourish an economy. They're still in a position where if they lose one, they're in trouble. XMS, though, will try and make sure that's not the case. They've just picked up 3 in a row, and it could become 4. Maka keeping them honest, but Lucky pivots round on so much damage. But 150 in total. It's easy clean up. Kiyashima, janitorial duties, mopping up the T's. 2 of them did manage to spill downstairs, and now Saw makes the most of it in amongst all the chaos. It is a post plant, so really HAVU have accomplished the mission they set for themselves. A bomb plant, some more bodies, but the bomb's not planted for either of the T's. You can see that Soar's actually
off for making a comeback effort. They're starting to get their defense into a pretty good place, but Zori
away. If not, Maka will never ever anticipate Dotto sat there, and it's the freest of kills from Dotto. Well played by HAVU, and it's just got a little bit more spicy. Kiyashima though behind the vents gets two, is running out of ammunition, and Lucky comes up to help him out. Kiyashima's all alone. He doesn't have many. Or will this round be brought to an abrupt end? HAVU going in, getting an even trade, 1 for 1. Nevera trades out with Dotto. And both the assailants still remain, but not for much longer. Now Navarro goes on to Dotto, but some business is opened up on ramp, and HAVU make
this series as it comes down to another mid-round 3-on-3 situation. Site being taken, Yampi holding off this window room rotation as the bomb does go down. Keo trying to challenge, but Yampi will have
from Yampi for that second kill, and you can see how important that kill was.
Adding on another one here momentarily as it's just USPs for Heretics.
Pretty grim situation when $300 investment is something to really mention and highlight for Heretics, but they have got two. Oh, that's the bomb that goes down with it as well. An incendiary planted down as they look to try and just rush straight in. Zori gets the
here. Lucky already being pushed back off outside. Zori and company taking space and an opening pick for themselves. They've done this time and time again, and it's just going to continue to rattle off as Zori finds another with the eye.
Oh, Keo caught while reloading. XMS goes down very much the same way. Looking like they will find their way into finish hands. Maka round the corner, gets the spray onto Zori, but now his position is known. But picking up the AWP, and these are
just never got off the blocks. They still are waiting for a second pistol round to be fired. Who's going to make it actually to Flashpoint Season 2. And so if he gets into the lower bracket right away, that's going to make things quite grim. And speak
for live. Zori gets caught out in transition, but now returns fire. He falls down, but it's still a 2v4. And both the T's are struggling and gasping for air. They may be subdued momentarily. Yampi comes back, trying to put some surgical precision in play with the USP. That's a solid shot onto Dotto, but he needs to connect 3 more times, and with 35 seconds left, he'll be
more as they are going full outside. They've been spotted by Dotto already with this scout. He's already found one as well with the P2K. One tap onto Lucky. Maka does respond, but still they are quite far behind and found out at the same time.
Yeah, and being able to one-tap someone with the P2000 gives the information you're looking for. They're on a new... I suppose if we're looking at sequences, it was Heretics' bonus round loss that really spiraled them out of control. So I will be hoping it won't happen to them as well. But so far, so good for Heretics. They've got the advantage, and Lucky puts them one step further towards success. Dottos. He's looking to try and pivot in for some kills. If anyone's unlucky enough to go down the ladder...
To really close the gap now, too. There isn't really a whole lot HAVU could buy. Even with that being a bonus round, there's still a couple of guys heaven, so... Great news for Heretics. So they have lost an opening pick, but Maka's able to respond right back. He does get some help from Zori's AWP, but he gets flushed into awkward space right now at Tetris position. Gets caught in the back. Saul, though, able to jump off the back of that and get 2 of his own. A great response from him. But now he will be silenced, and it's all going to come down to this 1v1.
So HAVU just tap out. They're playing for the longer haul. Nevera narrowly missing out, but actually slowly comes in and lands the headshot. Now Nevera springs into action. There's 3 and 4. Panning the stats could...
Oh, absolutely. There is a gap, though, here that Dotto might be able to spot this cross into the back halls, but now a smoke will come in right where it needs to be. He finds a little bit of a gap. Really be cleaning this one up now. You'd have to imagine it would take something quite Herculean out of Yampi and Zori to somehow find victory here. It doesn't seem like they're going to be up to that task.
I haven't really seen them get out of the first or second parts in this game. Zori stays alive and sprays down 2 more. Considering that Nevera's down to $650, not too shabby if he can stay alive.
It's going to come down to timing.
Dotto's flank, so frustratingly, may just prove to be a dud. His other team
would have waited for Dotto a little bit longer. I feel like Dotto was the X factor, the one that could catch everyone else off guard. Everyone else is kind of in predictable positions. Dotto was the trump card away with perhaps this one saved AK on Dotto, but still, it's all going to come down to this one. Zori finding an angle with the AWP is going to take Lucky down and does so without any punishment in return. He's able to just to hold back. Second op's going to come into play now. Yampi's going to strike.
Yeah,
dominant performance.
Even have to get kills. All he has to do is just stall. Wait for the rest of the team to get into play. They line up and Yampi chomps in with a triple, but that flash from Zori made the play. He's played this round so well. And Maka missing the no-scope. Not long for this.
Check their corners or be able to get out in space and take trades, and it's
sprays down the seconds. 2 players fall instantly. Heretics have now just got lucky left with a Glock, but not for much longer. It's another clean. Yeah, the tables are certainly turned drastically in favor of HAVU now. Down comes Yampi. Maybe a little bit too aggressive. Did significant damage to Maka and would hope the rest of his teammates, they've just picked it up. Retrieving it, pushing it towards the site. There's still a bit of utility. Out comes Zori, dropping down the bomb, but now Slowy's been sprayed out from Maka, whose 19 HP is good enough. And
they still don't have an economy, so it still could be HAVU running away with this, but now...
Man, I thought Maka had, sorry, pardon me, I thought Slowy had managed to escape that. He was kind of falling down towards ramp when the headshot hit. Yampi now at the back of the site. He needs to make amends for that previous round, and he does get 2. So he steps towards that mark. Ticks remain. And it will be a post-plant that aggressively uses that Molotov to at least cordon off one area. Kiyashima needs to have impact, and now he stands tall for 1. Knowing the last 2 CTs were last seen in Decon, gives their positions away, but it comes to Heretics. Good Molotov tossed in, forces them out. That Molly almost the MVP, though. It forced the T's hands, and now Slowy shows his hand. They're stuck in Squeaky. A Molotov behind Lucky. There's another one. And an apt term to say the pressure.
Grilled at this point. Only Maka left trying to save AK as well as some utility. They're trying to go up fast, upper quick, and they do take Zori down immediately. There is the response though from Saul with the HE grenade, so at the very least HAVU keep on equal footing.
What is happening? HAVU, you've just been rushed down with pistols, and now it's a 1v4.
No.
Slowy, last man standing. This was their chance to wrap this best of 3 series up, but instead, how is your 5-7A, Maka? Here come HAVU, though. It's a 1-4 trade that's not good enough to stop. Great deal behind this. Dotto needs to have impact. He does have some help down there on the stairway. Runs out of ammunition, but doesn't get pressed down. Yampi in the meanwhile comes in. Now, there's no kit between the 2 of these CTs, and Yampi draw these Ts out into the open. Navera just has an AWP, and he's had his head removed. We could be headed to overtime yet.
Yeah, Yampi stopped it. Yeah, off screen, Yampi stopped the bomb being planted. We didn't get to catch that from our perspective. Yep.
They can now play off that. They don't have to worry about a 2-player stack on ramp or pushing downstairs. They can bolster up outside and A that little bit better. Barrel the gun round the corner from Navera. Dotto actually gets baited by that, and a wide swing from XMS will come good. There's his second frag and another one. Heretics spinning this round somehow, some way into a potential victory. But now Slowy, who was alive to try and deal with it, but now Slowy shows his hand, lands the dink, but it won't be good enough. Zori drops down. He got the first pick in.
And indeed, they do get that space again. Last time they couldn't do much with it. This time they're hoping for better. Dotto does find the kill on the Kiyashima.
Keeping their nose and trail on HP. 2 of them very low. Zori with a slow peeking does look pretty grim. Rip.
Yeah, I mean, will be the question. They have double op in play here now on the T side. And one's already been taken off the board. Kyo at least able to respond.
Here before Heretics conceded. That's the reason we're in overtime in the first place. But Navera connects with the AWP. Kiyashima waits. Peso using the slight lapse in any kind of presence on ramp. Does get frag. Flashes about to get flanked, about to go down, although he does significant damage.
Sure. I definitely think that their T side had a little bit more depth to it. From Zori, we'll get the pick on Maka as well. And that's going to give them so much. They have a man advantage and they have better positioning, but Lucky able to get one back onto Dotto, so that late flanking isn't really going to be there for HAVU this time around, but they may not need it. Navera, though, doing great things with the AWP here towards window. It is at least traded back by Zori.
Slowy nil
To be back. Glad Flashpoint had us here. Great.
that misery. Lucky, a lot of damage. Dotto dropped to 9 HP and Kiyashima goes in for 1. 30 seconds to go, but now Saw steps up with 2 frags and they decide, let's pull the plug.
Shots where you can't even believe they've hit the shot. It's almost the reverse of that, where I feel like there was only like a pixel of space where the bullet could go and not hit somebody.
From bad to worse, perhaps, because Lucky with $700 trying to hold on to their last weapon if he falls side though, and it did come off the back of just a straight up A rush. Very different circumstance here. This time they have to play a little bit more passively. Maka goes aggressive with the MP9, but Lucky gets traded out, and now the aggression starts to take shape. Nevera burns to a crisp, not quite sure who that was, and XMS is taking tons of damage, but his Deagle comes out for the better. Zori wallbangs XMS down, doesn't allow him to stay alive and retrieve that weapon, and Kiyashima gets up close. Wasn't aiming for the first player, but nearly took down the second before Zori sends him of 3. Unless Maka can pull off the 1v3 clutch. There's the first. Saw is very low, but he's about to get flanked. If he's not careful, Dotto will be able to take him down. Cue the Jaws music. It's all